SoFloRadio.com, and SoFloTelevision.com.
Since the dawn of civilization, the elusive quest in pursuit of the perfect drink continues to evolve. Now more than ever, we reap the rewards of this passion. The perfect vintage, the finest brew, or a spirit of optimum age and class. And now, SoFloRadio.com invites you to discover the wonderful world of booze by the glass.
Hey everybody, welcome to By the Glass. I'm your host Brett Hubbard, and I'm welcoming you, baby, to explore the wonderful world of wine, beer, spirits, and all that good stuff in between. Yeah, we're hitting you up from the Mac House out in Davie tonight. Holy Mackerel Beer is taking the world by storm, and we are here to watch it happen, and we are here tonight to celebrate that the actual inception of a nano brewery in Western Broward, and it couldn't happen to a nicer town because they need something around here. I am joined tonight by my guest host, Jason.
Hey, now.
We got I've Been Crazy and Bad on the board.
Yeah.
And then Rob, Daily Beer Review. Rob's in the house.
I'm back. I'm
that's
back
what it says on his
for another
driver's
run.
All right, who wants to say it? He's back like George, fill in the blank.
I said, oh, that's what it says on his driver's license. Rob from the Daily Beer Review.
That's exactly right.
Doesn't have a last name.
So
Cops love that.
Yes, absolutely. So mad love to everybody going out here tonight, and we will have some really great guests on the show tonight. Of course, Bobby G, Mr. Gordash himself, with all his fantastic stories. He's going to be telling us all about this place, and this place is really what it is all about tonight, because if you think about it, a lot of you guys out there, if you're in the craft beer community, if you're a local Floridian like myself and you like great local Florida craft beer, then you've probably tried some of these fine Holy Mackerel beers. Of course, everybody's tried Panic Attack. Rob, when you first tried Panic Attack, tell me how you felt about it. What'd you think?
Love it. Great,
Yeah.
nice, rich Belgian ale. Potent with the alcohol.
You know what?
Really warms you up.
He's amazing because his chemistries are all right on, and to think that he does a lot of experimental stuff and pulls it off like that, because if you think about what's in Panic Attack, Belgian-style brown ale, strong ale, right? It's got a bunch of cooked sugar in it, and you can taste that real wonderful cooked sugar aspect. It gives you sweetness, it balances the fruit, and then there's just enough of the alcohol and hops then to make it crisp in the finish. And really, it's just an amazing. The guy's amazing. He's been doing it for a long time. It's cool that we're in Davie, because I remember the first time I tried a Panic Attack, or the first time I had a Panic Attack was in Davie.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I tried it over at the Yale Falcon Pub, and that was one of the places that carried a lot of good fresh beer products back in the day when not a lot of people did. And they also carry a lot of good stuff from Adam Fine. Hopefully, he'll be stopping in to say hello, the godfather of craft beer in South Florida, Mr. Adam Fine. And we're going to be trying some of his beer as well a little bit later on tonight. We're going to be trying the Glades. Is it an IPA or a PA? I don't know, because I was over at Riverside Market talking with Julian, and he's like, try this. So I had one, and I thought it was very refreshing, very quenching. The Glades Pale Ale is what it's called, what it states. But he's like, Adam can't decide whether it's an IPA or not. I was like, well, if he did his calculus, his calculating on his IBUs, his alpha acid, and the whole nine, that really will dictate. But then again, the best thing about being a home brewer and drinking all these great beers is that we can really dictate what we want them to be by changing that around, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're basically the same thing. One's just a little hoppier.
Yeah, and it all depends on how much gravity you have, how much sugar, how much you want to use in your mash bill, and that type of thing. So
Call it what you want.
Yeah, you call it what you want, but it's still great beer. So hopefully we'll have Adam stop in. But I really wanted to talk about this really cool place that we're at tonight, because it's interesting that when you're trying all these great Holy Mackerel beers out in the market, a lot of times you don't really get to say to yourself, well, what's coming out new? You don't really know the new product that's coming out. And the reason that this place was built, the reason that they have it, is so Bobby can get in the back there and experiment with all different kinds of new stuff. He likes to use the people here, the guests, as his guinea pigs, so to speak. so that he can try out some of his new great creations. And we are going to be trying out a lot of those great creations tonight. You want to ramble off the list over there, Rob, and what you see? I mean,
I'm pretty much ready to get started.
okay. Well, we got some beer, but
Yeah,
fortunately for me, just when I needed my beer, Dio walks out. It's wonderful.
Well, I think we decided we're going to go with the Honey Do This, which is half mead, half strong ale.
Okay.
And pretty.
Now that's a braggot.
Yeah, I don't think.
Dirty little braggot.
I don't think Bobby makes anything less than like 8 or 9% alcohol. This one's 9.5%.
It's funny you were talking about a braggot because we were just over at.
Is that a style that he has, just with a lot of alcohol? Because most of his stuff is pretty high.
Well, if you remember from the first time we had him on By the Glass Show, and by the way, welcome to By the Glass Show. This is a show about beverage culture. We come to you every Thursday at 6 o'clock on SoFlo Radio and ByTheGlassShow.com. Go to ByTheGlassShow.com and check it out because we got a million shows on there. They're just about everything you can think of, from beer, wine, spirits, and stuff like braggots. Because we had a show over at the Laser Wolf the other night where we had Mr. Brad Dahlhofer. Brad's a great guy. I ran into him up at the Jupiter Craft Beer Festival. We'll be talking a little bit about that. But he's the zombie. He does the bee nectar. Bee nectar, I apologize.
Bee nectar, yeah.
A little bit of a brain fart. Excuse me, folks. A little bit. He does the bee nectar, and he was telling me about a braggot that he's going to be making with Cigar City. Now, those guys are all around town, Cigar City. They're always doing all kinds of collaborations with all kinds of people. But he was getting into the intricacies of making the braggot because the fact of the matter is that it's half mead and half beer. Now, when you talk about the complications of such a thing, it's really quite inconsequential. But really, the matter of fact is that honey, as a fuel for beer, the sugars all get fermented into alcohol. So how do you keep that residual honey flavor without making a very high, potent, strong...
I don't know how he did it, but
yeah.
Why don't you take a taste?
I will. I'll take a taste once I start yapping my gums.
The other question is, why would you make this?
Yeah.
Because it's a new and interesting concept. And
it's not
also,
really new. They've been making braggot for centuries.
They've been making beer mead mixes?
Yes.
Really? How did you find that out?
I searched for it last time. I didn't know what braggot was.
Okay, don't brag it about it, all right?
Okay.
Jeez.
That's right. You've created lots of monsters with this show.
I have.
Brett. All these spin-off experts over here.
Wow, that's
Like,
a unique
well, I'll
flavor.
have you know that
I have the internet, too.
I learned on By the Glass that
I know. But here's the thing. This is a fantastic, I got to say. I have not tried. I tried another braggot at the Jupiter Craft Beer Festival that it must have been Bob's. But it tastes so much. Here it tastes amazing. What do you guys think of that? I mean, right off the bat, if you guys don't at home, so let me talk a little bit about it. So we know it's half mead and it's half beer.
It's kind of rich.
yeah.
Well, that's a good
And
thing.
sweet.
That's a good thing. But if you look at it, it's a wonderful amber color. It almost looks like sweet tea. There's not a lot of
Little bit
carbonation.
cloudy.
A little bit cloudy. Not a lot of carbonation. But right off the bat, you get a lot of good cooked sugar. Yeah, I think that's Bobby is a master at using those sugars, those candied sugars, and cooking them, and just like the Belgians do. I mean, that's the best way to manipulate your beers. You can manipulate your ABV, you can manipulate your body and your gravity that way, and you can also manipulate how the beer is going to turn out in the finish. And then if you can increase your gravity, body, ABV, then you can increase your hop ratio as well to balance the beer nicely and get a good crisp product, a good offering. What do you think, Rob?
I think for me it's a little too sweet, but it's enjoyable. It doesn't taste much like the go down to the corner and buy a beer.
No,
it's
not
not
at
A
all.
beer,
So, yeah.
it's,
Well, you know
it's,
why I
really,
like
it's really different and unique.
Well, why I like it is because it's very dynamic, and it's
got
got
a lot of
it
flavor.
comes from. It really starts out, like I said, with the honey is predominant, but it's almost like you ever have like a pecan roll that you get in Georgia, that kind of sweetness,
Yeah.
that sugar that
Yeah.
you get from that.
It's a little heavy. Also, I think this.
But okay, I'll give you that. But then it's actually light and bodied, and once you get to the 3/4 palate to the finish, there's some intense hops, some bittering hops that come through to balance it.
There's some hoppiness in here.
So that's a really nice aspect of it, so that it comes from a sweetness, almost like a real nice treat. This is something I would do is people drink port, people drink imperial IPAs, people drink imperial porters, people drink imperial stouts. This is something I would do for dinner, after dinner, as a nice dessert type of thing, because it's not too sweet to where it's cloying. It's actually very well balanced. These types of things are, like I said, extremely hard to produce a braggot because of the fact that you're working with pure fuel. It's pure I mean, it wants to all be alcohol, so you need to manipulate it in the fermentation,
Right.
and you need to control that. And I tell you, I went into his little kitchen here. This place is really cool. You guys got to come down. And everybody at home is probably sitting there, and I'm sure that Ed Roberts is tapping his foot on the floor going, are you ever going to tell anybody where it is, Brett, so they can come down there? Yes, it's on 595 West, just past Pine Island Road. It's a little bit of a cluster F when you get to the 595 just sucks these days,
yeah,
man.
I had
Oh
a little
my
trouble
God.
finding this place.
Yeah, but they're getting a new sign. Right now it says Music Cafe out front, but you can see the Holy Mac.
Right between the Char Hut and the Dunkin' Donuts.
Absolutely. I'm trying to get to that page that has the address
And if
on
you
it.
know that
It's
Boomers,
right on the front, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 9118 State Road 84, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So, and that's west, guys. So take a Turnpike or a 95 to 595, head west, get off at Pine Island Boulevard, and then you got to take a left, go south, take a right at the Mexican restaurant, and then work your way through the Publix parking lot, go past the barbecue joint and the burger joint, and
Look
it's
for
on
the
the
laser-
left, past the
laser
Redneck
flag.
Bar. And we'll
Do you-
see you there. We
do
got
you-
the light on for you.
Dio activated the nav, the little talking nav computer on my phone for the first time, and she got us. You were there, and then we looked to the left, and there it was.
There you go. No, but they're getting a new sign, and it should be lit up. And this is a great concept, and that's what's really beautiful about this place. And that's what's great about Bobby. Is he's great at putting concepts together, and he's an innovator in his field. And let's face it, there's nothing hotter than craft beer in South Florida right now. And this guy was at the forefront of it. Him and Adam were both at the forefront of it, and they deserve mad props for that. So talking a little bit about the place itself, it's really interesting because when you walk in, it's beautiful. It's got a nice ambiance. They have live bands. The place is done up. It's clean. It's neat. It's got some cool aspects to it. They got a little brewer's corner over there where they have all the raw ingredients set up. It kind of looks like when you walk into a brewery. I've been to a ton of tasting rooms. It kind of reminds you of a tasting room maybe out there in Colorado or California. Rob, what are you thinking? Have you been to?
I've been to Colorado, but I was 18.
Okay, so you couldn't drink, wink, wink,
But I'm going
but
next
you can
month.
smoke weed, right? No,
I'm going next month.
Oh, you are, so you can smoke weed.
and drink craft beer. I need some recommendations.
No, there's some great places out there. I was at Tommy Knocker, dude. When you go out there,
I'm going to Keystone skiing. So
Oh, yeah, you'll have a
dude,
blast.
yeah.
go to Tommy Knocker. It's in this little town that looks like it's like a little gold diggers town.
Yeah.
I mean, did I say gold diggers? I mean gold miners
That's
town.
what, that's what you said. Where's your head at?
South Florida.
There you go.
It's a little gold diggers town, kind of like Miami. Anyway, no, but so back to the Mac House. They got this really cool little area back there where he actually brews. Now, like I said, this is an experimental place, and but the cool thing about it is
So
that
when
Bobby
you say
will
he
come.
brews, he just has his little
Well, look.
brew.
No,
The kettles. They're not so
you
little.
got these, I could fit you in there, Jason.
Yeah, I know.
I could totally fit in there.
Yeah, like George could fit in there.
Two
know
of
about
me. Two of
Push
me.
him down. So, but they're
There's a
pretty good
stick.
size. They're pretty good size, and those are his mash tuns over there. And those are really nice kettles. And they
Yeah,
have
they're
the
beautiful.
yeah, and they're right there in the front window, indicating that you're here. And then he has the similar style. They're about 36 gallons, and he has the similar style. He has like a basically a refrigerator in the back that has a fermenter in it. Now, the difference between a kettle and a fermenter is the fermenter is on stands, kind of like if you made a brace to sit it on, and then it has a cone on the bottom, and that cone catches all the yeast and all the stuff that you don't want in your beer as you're filtering it and vorloffing it. There's a big word, vorloff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that why the yeast is at the what that gets the yeast and
Yeah,
to
that's
the
where
bottom?
most of the yeast. Yeah, that's how it settles and stuff. But he's got basically a refrigerator in there that's just on 50 degrees. So that's the way that he's producing a lot of these ales. He's producing them very temperature controlled, and temperature is a real. That's the key, and that's how enzymes work. That's how diastic power is all discussed. The way that you can break down sugars in order to make them into fermentable sugars, so that you can turn them into alcohol. And that's really where the key is. And this guy's a master at it. He's been doing it forever, and it's beauty. But this place is very cool for that because it's not really much to it. It's kind of like if you're home brewing in your kitchen. But he's been able to put out some really unbelievable beers right from this place here. Now he did the Outcast IPA, which it has been served on tap in quite a few different places. It's got the Columbus hop in it. It's really nice, 6 to 7%. 6% for him is very, not a big IPA at all. But it says here that they're currently serving it on tap, so maybe we can get in on that one too. Fantastic. All right, so we love the Braggot. Awesome. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Bobby G himself. He's going to come over and talk to us a little bit about the concept and everything that he's doing and what's going on with the whole Smash Burger aspect and everything. When we come back on Body Glass on SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com. We do stuff.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now. 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
The Humana prescription savings card, and the offer is discount only and is not insurance.
Have you had trouble getting health insurance? Are you simply paying way too much? Finally, the ICANN Benefit Group has affordable health insurance choices for everyone, regardless of any health-related factors or conditions. Have you been turned down? Solve your health care crisis today and get benefits you can afford. It's quick and easy. ICANN Benefit Group can help. Our plans provide access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, preventive care, and emergency services. And whether we find a plan that fits your budget or not, we'll give you a Humana prescription savings card at no cost just for calling. Remember, your quote is free, and we have licensed insurance agents standing by. This is a call you can't afford not to make. So what are you waiting for? Call for your free quote now. Call 800-799-9735. That's 800-799-9735. 800-799-9735. It's free to call. 800-799-9735.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Hey, this is Nathalise from the Sports Head Show. Log on to SoFloRadio.com every Sunday and Tuesday to hear the best in sports. And remember to follow us on Twitter at Edge and the Heads. Sunday's show is a little different. The Heads cover current events, sports, and me, Nathalise Jimenez, discuss the hottest news in entertainment. And for those who want strictly sports, the Tuesday show is just for you. Remember to listen to us on Sundays from 8 to 10 and Tuesdays from 7 to 9. John Etch and the Sports Heads, only on SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to By the Glass. We're having a great time here. I'm joining you from the Holy Macro Nano Brewery out there in West Davie. Actually, it's right there off 595 in Pine Island. You can't miss it. Just look for the construction.
Well, you kind of can miss it.
Actually, you can, but they're getting a new sign, right, Bob?
Yeah, the end of next week is what
Awesome.
they're telling us now.
I'm joined here by the man himself, the legend, the myth, Mr. Bobby Gordash, and thanks so much for having us, coming on the show. I appreciate it. Where it's always a pleasure, old friend of the show, and this place is awesome. And I understand basically you wanted to open this place up so that you could create some new, fun, interesting stuff and use your customers as guinea pigs.
Yeah, exactly. And also just have a place that people can call home.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's so important. George doesn't have a home, and
I live in the back of my car.
Yeah, so he knows what that's like.
I work for beer.
Yeah, and we pay him in beer, too. I love your fermenter system. Tell me a little bit about how you brew your day-to-day brewing, like when you want to put do you use these right over here if you folks are at home? It's a pretty good setup. How big are those mash tuns? They're basically big pots.
Yeah, these are 55 gallons.
Oh, wow.
3 of them. We have a mash kettle, sparge kettle, and a boiling kettle.
Okay.
And then we have a 42-gallon fermenter, and that's just the beginning. We're going to have to add some more of those because it keeps us from brewing as often as we want.
And that's actually the equipment you use right there.
That's the cooking kettles, yeah.
Those are, that's great equipment, though. I would love to have that to work with.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. So and how many different offerings are you coming up with in a time and period? Just give us a ballpark. People at home, they want to know.
Well, what's fun about this, we've had as many as 3 different beers on at one time. But now, because sales are increasing, we're running out a lot more often.
That's a good thing.
But the cool thing is we're able to do stuff that we really want to do, just goof around and experiment. So, what we have here is our sour cherry porter. This is something unique and different with real sour cherries in it.
That's amazing. So I know a lot of people from Michigan and stuff, they get those cherries up there, and that's where kind of a lot of good stouts. And from the Northeast or Midwestern, great cherry porters. Is that where you got the inspiration from?
Yeah, exactly. It just kind of adds a nice sour kick to it at the end, but it's not overdone. It's almost a little bit of that Guinness taste because Guinness has that
I was just going to say, it's creamy, man.
Yeah.
No, that's not a nitro.
Yeah, it is on nitro.
Oh, it is on nitro?
Nitro,
okay.
yeah.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice.
Boy, the Guinness people better shudder in
And
their
when you
boots.
say it's on,
This is unbelievable.
when you say it's on nitro, explain that to people.
Okay, well, nitro is a gas mix, okay, a blend. Most beers can run off a straight CO2. It has to do with the length of your system. Now, if you have just a direct draw box where your kegs are right underneath your tap, all you need to do is create a volume of CO2 at like 2.5% or 2.5 times the actual mass of the space. There you can just draw the beer right out. It's going to push it right up the little tube of about 3 or 4 feet. But then when you want to have a longer system in general, you need to maintain the actual carbonation of the beer with the CO2 and then push it through the lines with nitro. But what happens is that nitro does not maintain carbonation that well, so it will leak out. So what they do is they blend the gas together, a little bit of CO2 nitro blend. That CO2 nitro blend will infuse into the beer. It'll give you the carbonation you're looking for, but it'll also give you a smoothness you're looking for.
Velvet smooth beer.
The other thing is, too, is
Nice.
the pressure is much higher. With a beer blend, you push it through about 30 psi.
Right.
Whereas with CO2, normally in a short draw, it'd be about 10 psi.
Wow.
But generally, you guys will just have a tank of gas mix, is what they call it, and you'll just run it to this one keg.
Right. Exactly.
Because you don't want to put this if you take people don't know this, but if you take a Guinness keg, right? And you just hook it up to straight CO2, you've ruined it immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as soon as you connect it, boom, with the Sankey, the coupler,
Really?
it ruins it. It has to be hooked up to nitro because once the CO2 hits it, it starts to suck it into the beer.
Is that why I see the
destroys
gravity tap applied to Guinness so often when I go into these, these good tap
Yeah,
houses?
you need to have that little rubber fitting on there, right, George? Yeah. So anyway, this is an amazing place. We love it. What made you settle in this area? Why'd you pick Davie?
Well, this was already an existing customer of ours.
Right.
They already had a pretty good base of Holy Mackerel fans. And
Totally.
and it wasn't working out for them, so it was an easy thing for us to just take over. We walked in and still in the process of remodeling it the way we want it, but that's something that we've been it's a pretty easy fit.
That's fantastic. Now, I know that I was telling these guys the first place I ever tried a Holy Mackerel was definitely the Falcon Pub.
Yeah. They do
and,
well for us.
Geronimo's pours it. And this area here has a lot of really good. I think does it have to do, maybe Nova has, the college.
Yeah, plus this is my home base. I mean, this is where I was living when I was brewing this stuff at home. So
Right.
a lot of people are familiar with it.
So now you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about that refrigerator you got back there. We opened it up; it wasn't cold, but you're doing an IPA, so when you can have your average temperature about.
Yeah, it's about 65 degrees right now.
Yeah,
it's almost done fermenting, and should be on tap in about another week.
So I mean, you can't get beer any fresher than that, man.
No.
It's like it comes right from his fermenter right into his kegs. I see the little kegs you guys got there, and boom, you just serve it. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
Right.
And you don't.
The other thing we do to add into the mix too is that we take some of our beers and we do some infusions. And like one of the biggest hits that we have here is our Panic Attack that we have brewed in Greenville, South Carolina.
Right.
It comes in, we transfer it into a keg, and we use Don Pablo coffee from Miami. Put it in the keg with it, about 4 ounces for 5 gallons, and it's a huge hit. We call it Panic Con Pablo.
That's fantastic.
Like
We're going to be
Cuban
trying
coffee.
that later.
That sounds good.
And I always like, the fact that, you get the alcohol buzz and the caffeine buzz all in one shot. Was I supposed to say that? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a nice it's kind of like a Red Bull and vodka. No, but for the beer world. And the fact of the matter is that you can pull all those nuances from the grain when you're mashing it, and then you can also add a lot of the fact of the roasted coffee, too. So you're creating a pairing right there in your beverage. You're creating resonance and similarity with the beverage.
Right. And a lot of people are familiar with the fact that Panic Attack tends to be a little bit sweeter. So with the coffee, it creates almost like a Cuban coffee. There's real sweet
man.
Cuban coffee, ice cold.
We got a couple Cubans over here. What do you call that? Cafecito?
Yeah, cafecito. We call it coffee.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah. I forgot what you Cubans
Except
call
we say it
it
in Spanish.
Hey, well, we're in Davie, so how do you Cubans call it? Coffee?
Cafe.
Cafe? Oh, that's a good stuff, that cafe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's amazing. I was talking about you're a master with the sugar. You are. And the way you brew your Belgian stuff, and you can taste it. And, I think that you use it to increase your gravity so you can get more of your hop balance in there. Talk to me a little bit about your processes with that, because I find it incredibly interesting.
Oh, you're talking about the fact that we use sugar in our brewing process most of the time?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that, actually, because it does help boost the alcohol without giving you that real thick barley wine imperial stout type of a taste, which I don't mind at times. I love that stuff.
When you're looking for it.
Right. But especially look at our Golden Ale. It's 8.5%. It's really super dry and thin, and you could get in serious trouble drinking that by the pool because it goes down almost like Corona.
It really does. And I think it's a secret to your success is that you find this really wonderful combination of all these ingredients that work well. I mean, it's kind of like an alchemist. You've worked your way around it. You found that the way to make these bigger beers. And we were talking, we were laughing, we're sitting there going, okay, what do we start off with that's nice and light? And we're like, everything at 10%, 8%. I'm like, hold on a second, where are we? The Mac House. There's nothing light here.
We can bring in some Bud Light, I think.
Well, I mean, we weren't getting that light. We were looking for like a 7%er. Bunch of Nancy boys we are. But no, we're having a fantastic time here. We are at the Mac House out in Davie, guys. This is By the Glass, a show about beverage culture. We have wonderful guys like Bobby G. Gordash. And one of the, this guy's been doing it since the beginning. And, I was telling everybody before you came on, right now, craft beer in South Florida, absolutely blowing up. But you were doing craft beer before craft beer was cool because you loved it. I loved when we first had you on the show. And I always tell people about the story you told about going around and just brewing with people. That's what I love about brewers. Is they bring you in and they make you, they make you part of it. And we've had Fran. We had Fran and Matt on the other day from Tequesta, and they're like, we love to give people all kinds of advice. We just ask them to please make good beer. Right?
Sure.
And it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And then of course we had
Due South.
Yeah, Mr. Hawker, Mike, he was in, and he was telling us, whenever if he had a problem with something, he would just reach out.
Yeah.
And there's a great community, and that's fantastic. So we couldn't be more pleased for this. And so as we take a little left turn here, let's talk a little bit about your newest endeavor with Smashburger. You want to explain to us what's going on with that and how we can find even more great Holy Mackerel beers in the future?
Yeah, they called us a while back and wanted to meet up and talked about doing a pairing with their burgers. And the way that they wanted to do it was that the owner, Tom Ryan, came in and wanted us to meet him there at the restaurant in Pembroke Pines, sat down, met with him. And I never ate so many burgers in my life. I brought out like 14 burgers, 3 or 4 chicken sandwiches.
Isn't that interesting I've been to a few different burger joints talking to the owners, and those guys are like, hey, you up for a burger? I was like, I just had like lasagna, man. I couldn't fit another burger. Burger, everybody, burger. It's like, okay, I'll take a burger. Jeez, good thing they make the little slider burgers so you can try it.
We actually sat there together though, and I tried his burgers, and we had the beers next to it, and we both decided which beer went with the burger. And I think it was funny because the whole time we both agreed except on one occasion, and that was like a neck and neck tie, and I let him have it. I just let him win on that one.
Yeah,
but
you're a hell of a guy.
But all in all, it was amazing because we both just picked the same beer and the same burger. And the interesting thing is that the beer made every burger sometimes taste better, and sometimes it was reverse. Sometimes eating that burger just made this panic attack taste so much better.
No, absolutely. Well, it's nice roasted notes from the barley, and then it depends on the burger if it's nice and juicy, and then the alcohol and panic attack is going to cut through, and all that nice grease from the burger, and be refreshing. And they're perfect for each other. And then I would imagine I've never had the pleasure of having a smash burger, but I would imagine that they're pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like the way they cook it. They press it down, and it kind of leaves a skin on the top of the burger, which keeps the juices on the inside. That's
thus the name, Smash Burger?
Smash Burger.
Oh, interesting. I did read a little article about how they came up with that whole thing, and I was hoping to have him call in. But look at this. We do have your food pairings right here. How amazing is that? Pick one of these, please, and talk to me about it.
Well, my favorite burger was the, where is it here now? The Spicy Baja Burger. I'd like to branch out and try some of these other ones, but
the Spicy Baja. Now, I would imagine
that sounds good. I'd stop on that one too.
Yeah, Spicy Baja Burger. Now, I would imagine you came up with something a little sweeter to balance the spice.
Yeah, the panic attack.
The panic attack worked good with that.
It kind of just cooled the burger down.
A little quenchy.
Yeah, but it's a really spicy burger. It's got spiciness in the bun, spicy cheese on it, and then spiciness and some peppers in the meat. And then he's got fresh jalapenos right on the patty. And so
boy, he ain't messing around. That's a spicy meatball. That's pretty good.
Every time I go there, I want to try something different, but I just can't do it because I just keep going back to
the spicy burger. Yeah. Well, you got a panic attack to quench the heat, so there you go. Yeah, that's fantastic.
But I think, honestly, the most interesting pairing probably was which is the one with the cucumber and goat cheese chicken sandwich.
Really?
And it went with Mac and Black. Went really well.
And therefore, you would find contrast in those,
exactly.
because I would imagine the cucumber is very light and refreshing, and the Mac and Black is going to bring you in real dense notes of flavor, and they're gonna in your mouth you're gonna be like right turn.
Yeah, except for the Mac and Black also has a little bit of acidity, and so did that sandwich from the vinaigrette.
Okay, so you found a little compliment there too. Jason had a Mac and Black. From 2 years ago, he was going to bring it in, and we were going to do a vertical tasting. I was like, Bob's probably got like one of those plastic milk crates in his house with like full of like Mac and Blacks from 2 years ago, like sitting around. You know what I mean?
I tried to, but I ended up drinking them.
No, I agree.
We'll save it for later.
Yeah. No, but we will do that at another time for sure. Fantastic. Folks, we are down at the Mac House in Davie, and we're here with Bobby G, the owner. And actually, there's another owner, too, Mr. Larry Hatfield.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that for the folks at home?
Larry's actually here today. He's in charge of all the remodeling. He's doing all of this. He was down there with me eating those 14 burgers, Smash Burger. So he's the one that's he's actually the owner now, and I'm just doing the brewing, and I'm the founder of the brand.
That's fantastic. And you promote a lot of Florida breweries in here. And talk to me about your concept of kind of making it, those guys helped you out, you're helping them out. How does that whole thing come about, with this place?
Well, I mean, we've all helped each other out for a long time. In Cigar City, when they first opened up, they put Holy Mackerel in on tap, and I'll never forget that. And same thing with Due South and some of these other places. So you want to keep that partnership going. Yeah. So the whole concept here is that everything on tap, and we get offered good beers all the time. There's all kinds of beers we can put on tap, but our philosophy is Florida beers only.
Right.
And that's just the way it's going to be. So, we've had Native Lager on here from day one. We've had Due South. And we switch things up once in a while. Cigar City. And, we Florida Beer Week, we were able to have Swamp Head.
Yes.
We were able to have Three Palms. And
I met one of the brewers from Swamp Head. He's a real nice guy. Real nice guy. I don't remember his name right now, but I've met him a couple times. He's a real good guy.
The most difficult thing is being able to get some of these beers, but there is some really good quality Florida beers out there.
Those guys aren't distributed in Florida, South Florida.
Not South Florida, no.
Yeah, so they're coming in soon.
Right.
We look forward to them. And I think, it's interesting, and I was talking to Fran about it. He said, I think that as more local brews come online, we're going to see a lot less brews from out of town coming in. Even though all these big companies see how Florida is the next golden goose, and they're trying to get in now. They're trying to make as much beer as they possibly can to get in before all the local breweries kind of push them out. Because when you go to places like Asheville and stuff, people are drinking all their local beer. Right? You go to Colorado, people are drinking their local beer. Right. New York, people are drinking. I mean, people have more of the infrastructure and the facilities. Florida, I mean, you're probably one of the first local beers, that people, when you come to Florida, you say, have a Holy Mackerel, because that seems to be synonymous when people they get off the boat. What's local? Have a Holy Mac.
Not only that, but I see your stuff in Publix all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Yeah. And how does that, with the whole brewing at Thomas Creek and everything, and how's that working out? I mean, are they still they're filling the orders and everything getting better? Are you going to stay with them as far as?
Still a constant problem. We're actually negotiating with the Funky Buddha now. See if maybe they can help us out brewing in Florida.
Okay.
How big is their capacity going to be?
It's going to be place? Well, they could squeeze us in. Let's put it that way. And
that's great.
I think they'd be able to relieve Thomas Creek a little bit. Maybe we'd just start off doing draft there and relieve Thomas Creek. But as far as quality, I mean, I'm thrilled with Thomas Creek.
No, absolutely. I mean, your quality, and the thing that people don't understand is the key to a good brewing is consistency, and being able to do it again. You can, maybe you can make a great beer, but do it again and do it again. That's where really the rubber hits the road. So. It's been tremendous. All right, so it's been too long without a drink, so I'm going to let Bobby get back to it. I know he's being summoned by his minions over here. And we will take a quick break. When we come back on SoFlo Radio and By the Glass, we're going to drink some more and do it at the Mac House. All right, buddy. Thanks, Bobby.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. And salud.
No ugly chicks allowed.
CBC5 is the executive liaison for all your building compliance needs. Serving South Florida from the Palm Beaches to Key West, CBC5 delivers 5-star service that brings...
what's this ABC or BDQ or whatever?
CBC5. It stands for Complete Building Compliance.
Oh, I ain't building nothing, so what can they do for me?
Well, they do more than plan review and permitting. They help the little guy cut through red tape.
I got duct tape holding together my carport.
Well, CBC5 can help. Let them deal with bureaucrats. They helped George Rodriguez solve a sewer lateral problem, and they saved him a ton of money and hassles.
By City Hall, who can do that?
CBC5 can do that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a commercial to finish. Contact Shoddy the Hottie at CBC5 786-255-3851 or log on to cbc5.net. That's cbc5.net.
Do you have
student loans and are worried about making your payments? Stop worrying. Now, Direct Student Aid can help you if you are behind, if you are late, or even if you are in default on your student loans. We can help cut your payments fast. We provide student loan relief, getting you relief from your student loans right away. We will stop any harassing phone calls, stop any wage garnishments, and even remove any tax liens. No matter how much you owe or how far behind you are with payments, call our established Direct Student Aid toll-free assistance line right now. We can fix your student loan problems guaranteed. That's right, we guarantee we will get your student loan out of default and cut your payments right away. We have helped thousands of people just like you fix their student loans. Best of all, it's 100% guaranteed. Don't go another day with your loans behind or in default. Our specialists are waiting for your call. Call 866-855-6516. That's 866-855-6516. Again, call 866-855-6516. That's 866-855-6516.
Is your computer getting slower? Is your printer not working right? Can't get your smartphone to work with your PC? Or is the internet taking so long to load that it seems like the worldwide wait? I'm Luke Ford, CEO of My Computer Works. Every day, we help people just like you fix their computer problems. We offer an affordable way to help you with your computer. It's fast, safe, and reliable. But you don't have to believe me. Here's what our customers are saying.
Thank you so much for My Computer Works. I feel like I've got a new partner. They did just as they promised. They were very friendly, and I will highly recommend them to my family and friends and other business associates.
You know, technology keeps advancing, and it's very hard to keep up. So My Computer Works is definitely a service that I can't do without.
It's affordable, fast, and safe. It's My Computer Works. Just call 1-800-618-3090. 1-800-618-3090. That's 1-800-618-3090.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
It's post time. Join JJ and me, Sam, every weekday evening from 4 to 6 to talk horses. Listen live on SoFloRadio.com or listen at your convenience via iTunes or JoltNation.com. Now more than ever, this ongoing conversation regarding the future of horse racing is vital to horsemen and the horses they care for. So tune in and join the conversation. Call in, email, or even tweet. We're also on Facebook. Help bring our sport to the level it deserves to be on. It's post time with JJ Gracie on SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Hey everybody, welcome back to By the Glass, man. We're coming to you live from the Mac House, and we got all these great craft beer innovations and all kinds of really cool innovations going on.
Oh wow, what are we drinking here?
Wow,
This is really unusual and yummy.
Really good. I'm glad
you like it.
Yeah.
You know, interesting about this is the Glades Pale Ale, and this is part of Native Brewing. And
I should hate this. It's a pale ale.
You should.
You should hate it, man.
But you don't.
It smells. It's just
cat
really
piss.
different.
I get cat piss on it.
I do totally.
Yeah, no,
totally. Yeah.
Well, you know
that's
how,
a good thing, though.
It almost tastes like cat.
You know
piss,
how
too.
I feel
No,
about
it's-
cat piss. How I can't get enough of it, and I follow cats around with shower curtains and just
But
try
there's
to collect.
I know it sounds. I'm not trying. I'm seriously. I'm the biggest fan of Adam
It
Klein.
smells like Florida, kind of.
No, that means that there's good. That means that he got all of his isomerized alpha acids and all his essential oils.
This is really different.
That's from the type of hops that he's using. I couldn't give you an idea exactly what they are in the case there's.
It says they're Northwest American hops right here.
Okay, so it's probably Cascade and that type
Oh.
of thing. So
I thought that was the style.
Northwest.
That's like a blend or something.
Yeah, it's probably. I definitely smell some Cascade.
Cascade hops for sure. I can
It's
tell
a really
that.
nice floral and grapefruit and everything.
I mean, it's like a what's that? Hop Slam times 2, right?
But I'll tell you what, though,
I didn't like the hop slam. I'm with you there, man.
You know what's great about this beer, though, is when you taste it. First of all, it's super flavorful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, smacks you in the face.
But it's also very light and drinkable, and it has the really fantastic hop balance that comes through tremendously. But it's also got a nice. Don't get it's not sweet, but there's enough maltiness to balance the hops very nicely, so that you get a really good.
It tastes way
overall.
better than it smells.
Yeah, no, I mean it all depends on. You guys are big hop fans, so
right. But this is interesting. This is just different. It's just really different. This is probably the most unusual beer I've had since we started doing this.
It almost tastes like really good hydro.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, the thing is that Adam Fine, he's been on the show. We only actually had him on once during one of our live remotes at, I think it was a City Link Brew Festival or something like that. And I call him the godfather of craft beer in South Florida because he's the guy who founded Fresh Beer. And I give him a lot of props because he really had to go out there and make it happen. It wasn't something that nobody wanted craft beer at the time. We're talking 7, 8, 10 years ago, and he didn't. He had to go out and he had very few people that were willing to buy his product, but he stayed strong and fast, and eventually he sold to a bigger distributor, and now he's he's doing really well, and he's also doing what he loves, producing really great beers and getting them in places like the Mac House, and that's what's the cool thing about this place. It's funny because if it's disheartening to me. I walk into a lot of places, and I'm still in South Florida, and it's just like, Miller Lite, Blue Moon, Yuengling, Budweiser, that's all that everybody has on tap. And it's just, when are these people going to wake up and,
try
smell the beer, and when are they going to understand? But, hey, if it's not for the masses, then it's not for the masses.
Right,
I don't really care.
If I have to judge, this is an IPA, not a pale ale.
Okay. Well, that's what we were talking about. I was over at the Riverside Market, and I was sitting there with Julian. He goes, "What do you think it is?" He said that Adam himself did not know what he felt it was. I mean, I don't know. That's what Julian said. He can't really take anything he says to heart. He's a pretty crazy guy. Have you guys ever been over to Riverside Market?
Yeah.
But he's a good guy. But I feel that it's got all the flavor of an IPA, but it doesn't have tremendous alcohol. The IBU might be of an IPA, but the alcohol and the body of the beer might be of an ale. What do you think about this one, Rob?
I think it's a pale ale.
Right. Yeah. No, it drinks like a pale ale, which I like. But
the alcohol's like an IPA. That's the difference, I think.
Okay.
So therefore,
because you can taste the alcohol,
IPA.
no doubt. I can taste the alcohol.
I just taste a really nice sweetness, man, that comes from the hops and the malt mix. He nailed this sucker.
Yeah.
It's a good
It's
one.
good. It is really good.
Yeah, and like we said, it's a native Floridian. So, boy, I'm gonna need Advil after this show. I'm crouped over like a frickin' what's his name, Marty Feldman and Marty Feldman and Young Frankenstein. And that's what I look like over here. Wasn't that Hump on the other side? What Hump? But no. So we're having a good time, folks. You're joining us live on SoFlo Radio. Here we are coming to you live by the Glass Show. This is a live remote from the Mac House, and what we did is we wanted to come down here so that we could try the beers on tap, try them fresh. You can't get any beer any fresher than you do right here. This is the place to do it. And what do you guys think? They had a little menu that they're putting together, and it's kind of you go up there and you're like, "What are you serving now?" And this is what we're serving right now. And what you got, Jason? What did you think? You had a little bit of a sweet relish kind of.
We had
salsa?
some mango salsa with chips and a pretzel with cheese dipping sauce with
and those
IPA.
And the thing is that this isn't a place to come and have dinner, but those types of things will balance the beers. And what you need is good stuff to work with the beers with, so that you can get the full aspect of it. When we were talking about before, with some of the food pairings that they were doing with Smashburger, you can really see that they're doing some interesting stuff. And really, food pairings are all about different. We just had a great food pairing show not too long ago with Daniel from Sybarite Pig. That was a great show. Did you listen in on that one?
I listened, and Ed and I already have a date to go up there. And,
really?
and,
Cool.
we're gonna go up, and we're probably gonna hit Funky Buddha or something too while we're up there.
I'm excited about Funky Buddha, guys. If you don't know, Funky Buddha is doing a second operation right there off of Oakland and Dixie, where they're going to be making a big brewery.
I can't wait till they're Broward.
See what I mean about Bobby? He's so tight-lipped. I'm like, so how big is their operation going to be? He's going, they'll be able to make enough to fit us in there. Oh, could you be any more ambiguous. How many barrels is it going to be? But he doesn't. But did you get any idea how many barrels are going to be or anything?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so I want to see how big it's going to be.
I haven't tried to find out.
If they're going to be able to produce a lot, because those guys,
Might have to do a little investigation over there.
Well, we definitely will. We'll just have them on. Actually, we're doing a live remote.
Probably
from
just
there.
ask.
I was just up at the. Well, I was just. That's always a good option. I was just up at the Jupiter Craft Beer Festival, folks. That was an amazing time. Did you make it up to that, Rob?
I didn't. Jupiter is like, you may as well go to Jupiter, man.
Yeah.
Nah, that's true. Yeah, I'm up there all the time.
I'm almost in like Dade.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. But it was a fantastic time, and we tried some really great beers. I thought Swamphead did a really good job. I tried their saison, and with a good saison, it's all about the spices, and you get the spices from the yeast, and getting your fermentation temperatures correct is what really brings that out. You need it to be cool enough so you don't get that heat from the alcohol, and you also need it to be warm enough so that you get enough spice from the yeast. So it's a real tricky little line that they walked there, but they did a good job with it. But I walked around, I saw a whole bunch of really good brewers. It was a good time. It's in good camaraderie and everything. But I was able to talk to Ryan, who was pouring some interesting offerings, and he said that they shouldn't. I actually talked to his brother, who said that the city has created the building, the facade of the place, the outside for them at a good rate, but it's still a work very in progress, getting it going. And I think anybody who will put together a brewery will really tell you that it seems glamorous when you're drinking beer with these guys. And like, I brewed it myself, you know what I mean? But then it's like, oh, but you stayed up day and night for like weeks and weeks and weeks brewing it yourself, and it's it's like being a farmer. It's a painstaking job. I mean, it's a lot of work, and you need to build everything from ground up, and you got to have the love for it. And these guys have the love for it. The beauty is that you see the love in their product.
Yeah.
You taste the love. Taste the love, Rob. Do you taste the love?
I have. I've only been to. I've been up there. Yeah, I've been to Funky Buddha only one time, but like I said, I'm going back with Ed.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hit Sib Pig too.
Absolutely.
While we're at it.
There's Adam. Excellent.
Hey, you made it.
Do you mind sitting down, man? I know you're just walking in, but we're just trying the Glades, and we wanted to ask you a bunch of questions about it. Fantastic. We were just talking about it. We were hoping he would come in. Mr. Adam Fine. He's going to sit right down and talk to us. Fantastic timing. Now, don't take this the wrong way, and I meant this as in the highest compliment off the nose, but the hops, I got a lot of like cat piss. Like that kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of like
that's all you wanted to talk about.
That's not what I was
just
going
kidding.
I thought it was, but I mean that in the highest way.
I drank mine all down, man.
It was
Look
like
at
almost
that.
like the skunky, the sticky icky type of,
Yeah,
it had
totally.
a really good pungent nose to it. And George, who does not drink IPAs or pale ales, doesn't like hops at all.
Doesn't even like them, said he likes
loves
I look
this
at-
beer.
I
And
finished it all gone.
I think you nailed it because I was
could just
talking. I
grab
was
it,
telling
put
these
it on
guys.
your lap if you want.
Yeah, you just take it with you. Yeah, take it. I was talking to I was talking to Julian, and I was drinking one of these over at Riverside, and he said he can't figure out. Adam was like telling him, I don't know if this is just Julian talking or what, that you didn't know whether you think it was a pale ale, an IPA, or. Tell us a little bit about this Glades Pale Ale.
Well, we were doing some test batches, and I kept going back and forth with, how many IBUs we were going to get in the beer. Were we going to go real bitter, or real, or real more smooth, or, so we were doing small batches, about 3.5 barrels, so it's about 7 big kegs, and just trying out different levels, and we kept going back and forth. We did it about 3 or 4 times, and I think it's more of a pale ale.
Yeah.
I really do. I really think it's not as bitter as an IPA, but it's got a real lot of hops in the nose. That's what I was
It's
really
fantastic.
going for. A lot of aroma.
It does. It's got tremendous aroma, but it drinks so fresh and clean. I love the body on it. It's a real fresh, clean beer that has a tremendous amount of flavor. That's why I think that people would almost think it's an IPA. If I had to sit and judge, I probably couldn't tell you. I mean, honestly, it's on the borderline.
It's right on that borderline. It's right on the cusp of being an IPA, I think.
This is one of those tricky ones. Yeah.
And so, when you enter in a contest, do you enter as an IPA? Do you enter as a pale ale? I think it's more pale than IPA, but it's got some bitterness to it. It's definitely right on that edge.
It can definitely rest on its laurels too of being a really great pale ale because a lot of people go for that IPA style, but let's face it, it's the older brother of the pale ale's the older brother of that style, and it's definitely worth doing right. And a good pale ale is tremendous. And this one here, it's got that real sessionability. I love the refreshing aspect of it.
It's amazing. It's about 7%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
kind of.
I would never. Would you guys ever think that's 7%?
No, it's refreshing.
Seriously, I mean, it's amazing.
It's
came
got
out really
some
good.
serious kick to it at the end.
It
And,
really
and
does.
It really kind of goes down smooth. I call it a little bit dangerous because I could put a few of these down and, and not realize it before. Next thing you know, you're laying on the ground licking the floor. So
George does that all the time anyway.
Just this morning.
Yeah. Cerveza peligroso, I would say, right? A little bit of
Cuidado, es peligroso.
Yeah, más peligroso. Very, very dangerous. But it's amazing. So tell us, what do you got? Do you mind giving away your secrets? I know it says Northwestern hops. Do you have a blend of hops in there? What's on your hop bill on that one?
Zythos hops is what's making up most of it.
Zythos, huh?
Yeah, it's a new hop. It's a new hop that's out there.
Is that why I love it so much? Because it's new hop?
It's new, brand
new.
new.
You are a tricky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Sneaky bastard.
How
That's
do
great.
how do they get a new hop?
Crossbreeding.
Yeah, that's the new. I mean, there's been a lot of new hops on the industry in the past.
Because you guys have
5.
so much demand for it, probably.
Well, it's just the hop growers are getting a little bit more creative with what they're doing. For a while, the big hop was Cascade.
Yeah.
Sierra Pale. I mean, it's all Cascade.
Absolutely.
And then you had Anchor Steam, Anchor Liberty hops all the way. Yeah. But then in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I think there's just been this tremendous growth of aroma hops. Amarillo is probably one of the biggest ones that's come out in the last 5 or 6 years. So much so that you can't even get them anymore. It's really
hard
difficult
to get.
They just weren't growing. It takes about 2 years before you get a plentiful hop
harvest.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
So the first couple of years, everybody was just eating them up. Dogfish 60 Minute is a big Amarillo one.
Yeah.
Raging Bitch from Flying Dog, also Belgian IPA, is huge Amarillo hop, and that's just one of the brands that they, all these breweries contract out these hops, but they can't get enough of them.
That was named after my wife.
Raging Bitch.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a true story. Not the original name, but they had to tone it down for marketing.
Well, that's all good stuff.
So they've been, that's been like the big new thing, I think, for the industry has been these crossbreeds of hops. New Zealand's getting a lot of different breeds of hops, organic hops, that kind of stuff, and just the different flavors and aromas now, like Cascade and Liberty are big on the piney, Northern California flavors, whereas like the new varieties, Amarillo, Citra, lots of citrus, lots of mango and grapefruit, and all those kinds of flavors coming out. And that's kind of where we've been trending with the hops in the last few years as far as what they're doing.
I'm going to brew something soon. I bought some Centennial.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of go with that.
Great hop.
Yeah, but so what's, I've noticed that the last few beers I drank from you, the one I saw you at World of Beer, and you had that one beer. It was about a year ago, and that was a lighter. And this one here is, I like that you do golden, IPAs, pale ales, and your native lager. Are you doing any coming out in the future? Anything darker? Any porter? You dabble in that?
We did
on the dark side.
Yeah, we've been doing We've been doing a lot of test batches this past year. We did a coffee porter that was really, really popular. We brought it out to the Key West Beer Festival.
Okay.
We're doing 5, 10, 15, 20-gallon batches of different things, and we had two different batches of that. Had a batch that was brewed with espresso beans, and then we used another one that was brewed with Costa Rican coffee. I'm a huge fan of Costa Rican coffee. That's pretty much all I drink.
Yeah.
So
good acidity, right? It's all about the acidity.
It's really smooth, rich coffee with not a lot of roastiness. It's not overly roasted like a Starbucks coffee is like a French roast. It's got that heavily roasted bitterness to it.
Right.
It's not so bitter, just a lot of good coffee flavor to it.
That's great.
Yeah. That ran over really well. It was a coffee oatmeal porter. It was delicious.
Oatmeal adds a little silkiness.
And then we just brewed, and we're just talking about transferring it today. I've got 15 gallons of what we're calling the Double Deuce.
Double Deuce.
It's the 11 brown ale doubled up recipe, basically.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And we took it and we added spice rum, so oak chips to it.
Oh wow.
And vanilla bean.
Oh man.
Yeah, so we're blending it. We're going to blend those two together and see how that comes out. Pretty tasty. It's coming in around 7.8% right now.
And all those will be available, hopefully, at the Mac House sometime soon.
Well, I don't think I can sell them to the Mac House, but look for them at a festival or an event coming up in the future.
So that's where we'll find
these are all batches that I'm doing, and doing it
Now,
myself.
if one of those goes off well, then you'll be able to create it on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Then it'll come into a place like this, right?
Exactly.
And that's really the concept that we're dealing with, guys. We're coming to you live from the Mac House, and it's a nano brewer, but it's also a place that concepts come alive, and it's located at 9118 State Road 84, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 595 West. Get off of Pine Island and follow your way around the Publix and look for the new sign that's coming up pretty soon. And we are so happy to be here. It's been a wonderful live remote. Adam Fine, I like to call him the godfather of craft beer in South Florida, and of course Bobby G, him too. I mean, these guys, you don't get more real and the foundation of South Florida brewing and Florida local brewing than these two guys. And it's a pleasure to have you guys on the show. It really is an honor.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for explaining all this to us and bringing us into this awesome place. You guys got to come down here and check it out. What's the next festival we might be able to try some of your stuff at? It's gonna.
I don't know when the next one is coming.
Yeah, we
up.
just had Jupiter, and but keep it posted. You want to plug something, a website or something?
NativeBrewingCo.com, and
there you go. Go to
check
Native
us out on
Brewing.
the Facebook page. Like us on our Facebook page, Native Brewing
check it out.
Company.
And then Bobby, what's your Facebook, or you got something you want to plug? HolyMackerelBeers.com and MacHouse.com. So those are some places you can find out about what's going on tap and what's going on here. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with these two guys, pioneers of the craft brewing industry in South Florida. And this place is great. He's got good food to match the beers. He's got live music, and I think most importantly, he's got great people hanging out here.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, hey, we're all here, right? So.
I'm
just kidding.
This is really going to be the place in West Broward, I think.
Yeah, and there's there's it's funny. You got a few places, but I think that they need more good spots to come and to enjoy good stuff, and for great minds to think alike.
Come be a guinea pig. Try his new beers.
Yeah, that's it. I think Bob should make up a T-shirt that says "I was a guinea pig at the Mac House." What do you think? Because it's all about marketing and stuff, so we can get that done.
Yeah.
But definitely, they got a lot of great specials and everything. So, did you have a really good South Florida Beer Week, man?
South Florida Beer Week
was it awesome
fantastic.
Or what?
Yeah, really great. Culminating in Field of Beers and Jupiter Beer Fest, just a blast.
How was that this year, Field of Beers? Did you guys have out there?
Field of Beers is like the best beer event, one of the best beer events
I
ever gone to.
I hear all the people that really know beer and know good events. I hear all of them say that.
Yeah.
So I've not had the pleasure of going. I know Fran did invite me this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but
you got to go.
You
got to go. I mean, it's a really low key event, but it's just a great. It's usually a beautiful time out on the field. A great time of the year to be out there on the baseball field.
Yeah.
All the beers paired with all the food, and just fantastic beers. Everyone brings out the goods for it.
Yeah, man.
And it's just a really great event.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I want you all to enjoy great craft beers responsibly. Please do not drink and drive. Do not overconsume. No drinking under 21. And if you're going to drink a great craft beer, try to do it at home, and comfortably in your own home.
Or here.
Or at the Mac House, but don't be foolish. Because we want you to come right back. We want you to come back the next week and try more great craft beers. We say on by the glass with beverage culture, it's always good to drink the taste and enjoy good beer that way, all the fine things that we offer. And thank you so much to everybody involved. Thanks so much to Bobby and so much to Adam and Larry, owner, and to the Mac House for having us here at this live remote. We got some fun stuff coming up next week. We'll probably be hitting some other new places in town. There's all kinds of new fun stuff, or we'll have something coming at you. Thanks, Ed Roberts, for putting together the deck. Ed's, he's endless with his
with his POS.
He's got his.
He loves research.
Just to research.
He doesn't have to pay for the printer ink, so
they buy it by the gallon over there.
Fantastic. So. That's awesome. Anyway, so we got some really great stuff coming up in the near future. So look to the website, bytheglassshow.com, and check it out. If you guys go to the website, you will be able to see what's coming on up that week. Go out and buy the beers, and then drink with us. And we always like to evaluate great beers like we're doing here tonight. So definitely, yeah. And Adam, we're definitely going to have you back on sometime, and we do another live remote. This was an absolute prize to have you coming in as we were talking about the beer, and that one worked out perfectly for us.
Good timing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, and I see you got the wonderful fish tank over there. Hey, is that salt water or fresh water? Salt. He's got the beautiful salt water tank. I see the clown floating around over there. No, I'm not talking about George. It's the fish.
Hey, I don't float. I sink. I might be a clown, but what was that other thing you said?
Very cool. My watch is a little off, so I'm not looking.
Yeah, we got about a minute and a half.
Okay, about
just
a minute and a half. Yeah, so I never usually get this.
Keep talking.
Usually when I'm in the studio, I can continue.
I could recite a poem if you want, or
I think we've all heard the Nantucket limerick at least 5-10 times.
Really? Are you sure?
Okay. Something to do with your ear and.
No, have you heard the one? The one with the pig?
I heard it. I practically wrote it.
Okay, then I won't tell it.
Fantastic. So, where do you go drinking around here, Adam, lately?
Out west, Falcon Pub or Geronimo's.
Yeah, we were talking about those guys.
Yeah, those guys are two good bars out here. Duffy's has got a pretty good selection these days.
Yeah, the Duffy's are coming on a little bit, huh?
Yeah, they definitely have added craft to their list.
You think people are demanding it?
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but, you're drinking it
when you
at
get to a
home.
place, you're thinking about places like Duffy's, they must be saying, hey, get rid of your lineup, man, and get something good in here,
Well,
Unbelievable.
You got people coming in for good food, and you might as well have some good beer with it, too.
Absolutely. This is where you get it. Mac House, folks. Adam Fine, Bobby Gordash, thanks so much. Been wonderful. Thanks again to Ed Roberts and everybody involved. Jason, Georgie, Dio, and the crew, and, of course, Mr. Rob from the Daily Beer Review. Check out Rob's Daily Beer Review. See you later.
SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com. SoFloRadio.com. Uncut and tasty.